ready? Begin dreaming reality. Question: what papers? Answer: papers, please. The money pie, pot 3, and we're just gonna jump right on in. How's everybody? I hope well. My name is Joseph, and this is my space here on YouTube. I call it Dreaming Reality with God and music. Gots to have music, which I'm listening to right now. The O of Pleasure by Ray Lynch. My choice. I have it on loop. So where do I want to begin? I do want to begin with a vote. Y'all need to vote in person. That's the best way. Shows you care enough to take the time from your hands to the ballot box. I think we all know by now that there's going to be hanky-panky. Yeah. You know it, and I know it. We're already being told. Prepare. Prepare for everything leading up to the election, but don't stop there. Because what's building right now, leading up to election day, is only the beginning. But we're being told. I mean, at least somebody's being told, because I'm hearing somebody telling it. On the news. On the tube. For all to see. Vote. There's a part of me that feels like this is the last time, the last vote that counts, that you'll ever make or have the opportunity. This election is huge. It's the biggest election ever. All the others pale in comparison to this election. There's never been an election that's so in your face that you have to choose a side. This election, you have to choose a side. Because the winning side is going to be the dominating, the winner takes it all for a while, maybe forever. I like to think that the goal is world peace for all here, right now, this moment. Counters all come to a stop, and that's the number. You can't fidget with it. You can't play with the number like what's happening right now. Numbers. Then you have the old digital factor as being the judge of whether money is real. What do you think? Do you have your papers? Yeah, I probably should tell you who I am. I don't think I introduced myself. I wanted to jump right on in. My name's... Oh yeah, I did. Joseph. And my channel. Yeah, there's... I'm getting stuck where you just keep replaying things over and over, thinking that I guess it's going to be different, but it never changes. I'm having that of late. I did want to get into the pie, the money pie. I want to say that I hope that that image is still fresh. The pie is fresh in your mind. Now, if this is your first time here, the money pie, what am I talking about? 'Cause I'm always thinking fewer and fewer words is always easier. But I feel like what I laid out in the first Q&A that I posted a few days ago, that the pie, one pie, fresh pie, your favorite pie, makes it easier to remember. And that pie represents all the money of the world, all the wealth. If you could visualize and encapsulate it in a single item, a pie, one pie. And I like pie. I like a nice slice of pie, so I like to cut my pie into 6 slices. Six. It's a nice slice, and I'm being generous because, again, keep in mind that this pie, your pie, is all the money, all the wealth, that the it into 6 slices, and I pulled a slice out that I refer to as my slice, which is actually our slice. It's a communal slice. Everybody gets their fair, or I shouldn't have nothing to do with fair, but they get their worth in that pie, a piece of their worth in that slice. And again, you, me, everybody in your town, the next town up the road, the next town in the city 100 miles up the road, into the next state, into the next country, all around the world. That's pretty much that one piece. Now, it's not everybody. There's still 5 slices left in that pie that remain. And they are in possession of those 5 slices amongst themselves. I don't think spending the time to break that all up is time well spent. It doesn't lead one to anywhere but where one should already be. There is a problem there. And I say that because that one slice, which represents pretty much everybody, pretty much, those are people, me, you, everybody, and they have, I like to believe and hope, I dream that everybody, those people, want a better world. They want, because they live here, it's home, they care about the planet. That's what goes into tending Mother Earth. What's available within that one slice? Because even in that one slice, everybody isn't really on that page of just realizing how special the moment now is. Everything is special. And it works best when you treat it that way. This is real. Everything that's going on. I still feel like the world, that slice of the pie, is in shock. Because those other 5 slices, they're not given back to the earth. Not the earth as a whole, for you and I and everyone in that pie slice. They have a different vision of a world. and it does not contain the majority. It's just, why, if you're in a position to feel you can even begin to work towards such a goal, why would you expand on it as time goes by? There's 7 billion plus minds currently at this moment, all on their own, doing their own thing. How do you get them all onto the same page? Because what's going on with this world, we're at a point where that kind of thought, that kind of effort, willingness is required, needed, almost demanded. How many? I don't see very many. Neither do these people. They see it as it's not really that difficult. Because most people can't put themselves, first of all, in that thought of what I just shared with you, which has nothing to do with these globalist, elitist. It's just a realization, a truth that applies to all. How many? I'll ask again, how many do you think are willing the pie? I like pie. What's my favorite? If I had to choose. Berry pie. Boysenberry. Blackberry. Those kinds of berries. Pie. Hot. A scoop of ice cream, vanilla. People want to go back to the way it was. We can't. And as much as one wants to, I'm not saying we need to continue doing what we're doing right now, like shut down and all this craziness. But what I'm saying is that go back to the way it was. Pre-virus pandemic. And that should be enough to put you on the same page. That's something we can be on the same page. We understand, you should. For the most part, you're aware of what's going on in the world at the present moment. And has been. I'm not going to spend an hour talking about money. I wanted to put pictures up, and I forgot to queue them up. So I'm going to do that real quick. Help me shift gears for a moment. And there they are. Sorry about that. Okay, there's just 3. Let me go ahead and turn that on. Or should I give some context to what I'm about to display? I listen to music. Yeah, so there is an intelligence here. As crazy as that sounds, it's supposed to sound crazy. I mean, I'm not here to talk about politics or anything of this world in detail. I'm here to share about an interaction that I am having in real time, moving through reality. It's almost a perpetual state of synchronicity. I mean, at some point you get to this place where you don't see it as synchronicity because you've gone past the synchronicity. The synchronicity was there to get your attention, catch your eye, get you thinking. Get my drift? So that's there. The music, this intelligence, this presence here right now is using, be careful the words I choose, with the facilitation of technology over the air, over the airwaves. Technology is flowing all around this world over the air waves. This intelligence is aware of the airwave, the technology, and is able to utilize it. What do I mean? You have to meet some criteria first. Not you as a person, but as to the tools needed. You need to have a lot of music. Hours and hours and hours and hours, days of non-stop music available to have random music play. This is if you want to get real close, personal, quickly. Otherwise, you can rely on the radio. All the different stations, they play random music, aside from, I suppose, request call-in time. You can also use apps with your phone that access vast libraries of music that will generate random music from this huge database of music. Now there's one of two things that are happening. What I'm about to share as far as what you do once having the tools, everything else you have, your mind comes into play next. In your mind, right there, your mind's eye, all alone, nobody knows. You could be anywhere when your eyes are closed and you're right there. You're wherever, only you know. Everybody else around, they have no clue. So once you're there, begin a conversation like you were meeting somebody for the very first time. You're walking on the street or across a field, wherever you just happen to cross paths with another. What do you say? What do you do? Think those thoughts, imagine. What would you ask? What do you want to know? Press play. Turn on your radio. Find a station that plays music. And listen. And if you know the song and the title, take note. Anything your mind can associate with that song in regards to whatever your thoughts were, wherever you were in that moment with this presence that you just said hi to. It's amazing. Just keep asking, keep thinking, don't give up. The tough part is you do have to let go. All of this reality, this daily life we go through, there's really not a tie, a connection between here and there. What do I mean? I'm gonna go ahead and start at the music and continue, or what played on Pandora. My preference is three songs. And the first one, I'm hoping that it will be clear. Something in it will tell me right from the get-go that okay, hi, and the next step would be you begin this conversation in your mind, this mental exchange between minds. It's a mind, this intelligence. I'm calmed when I speak of this presence as God. It calms me. So many questions. I've lived a lifetime searching for what's happening has the potential to answer peaceably all those questions. Who am I? Who are you? Where are we? How did we get here? Why? Are we alone? Is this it? Let me turn the music on. I keep saying I wish I could. It's crazy that this is the way that it is. So this was the first piece that played. Where We Once Stand, back at 7:45 p.m. It's now 10 till 9 or thereabouts. Crazy Love, that played next. And then Dream of the Forgotten Child. And then I'm playing right now of my own choosing The O of Pleasure. Ray Lynch from his album Deep Breakfast. Amazing album from beginning to end. This is the second track off of that album. Number 2, The O of Pleasure. You don't hear it, I do though. Good stuff. You can pull it up on YouTube. It's there. Ray Lynch has it up there on his page. Whenever I share that link, I always link to his page on YouTube of the song. So, where am I? That was the pie, and then I'm into E.T., the music, the intelligence, contact, communication. How's it gonna all happen? Contact. I think contact is going to be a lot easier once some things come to light. Not much more is needed as far as that seesaw is concerned. Kind of continually go back and forth on it. You feel close, and then you feel far, and then you feel close maybe this time, and then far. I think we're close as a whole to that time where not much more, don't need much more to, you get to a certain point, you can only know so much with where, to the point where you cannot go forward or onward because you know so much that you're, how do you put it, in denial. I'll try to come back to that. And so, some people, they just don't want to know. They don't want to know the truth. How do I know that? So, well, this isn't what I would do, because I'm not like a TV watcher per se, but most people turn on the TV and escape somewhere else instead of deal with the problem. The end of the world is coming, and it could be an actual fact, undeniable, And I still think people would just go watch TV, turn on the TV. Or a video game. A VR, virtual reality game. Take a choice. I believe that. I don't know if I talked about this last night or the night before. It was a thought that I came to. And that's cool because it'll lead me back into the UFO ET thing. But this has to do with like a cigarette can, like a butt can. And you see them in front of stores, out in front of a building where I live outside, because the multi people that live in the unit. And then out in the front there's people smoke, and there's a can, like a coffee can, and for putting your butts in. People like to put their trash in it too, which the two don't go together. That's how fires get started. And you're not intending to, but that's what happens. And so it got me thinking that, you could put two cans out there. You could have that coffee can, and it says butts on it. And then you even have a bigger container, and it's clearly for putting trash into. You could even hire a band and have them playing live in front of these containers, both containers side by side. And whatever it is they're singing would have to do with, doing the right thing, and you would still get trash put into that coffee can. I'm absolutely convinced of it. It's not even worth taking the time to investigate and find out empirical evidence. The numbers don't lie. That's the truth. That's the state of the world. Back to E.T. though, and then intelligence, which these three songs up here, I don't doubt, I don't question, are communication from an intelligence that's aware of each and every single one of us. There isn't one person that this intelligence is not aware of. And this intelligence it's not so much a matter of where it's from as much as when it's from, because this intelligence has always been here. Always. One way to look at it would be it has nowhere else to be but here. In the beginning, in the end, this is it. Comprende? See? We? Yeah. So earlier, before I decided I was going to stream, which I'm now doing, so I knew I still had to do the songs. I wanted to spend my moment directly with this intelligence. Keep in mind that I'm at a point where this intelligence it's in communication, and everything is a tool to be utilized in that communication. Everything that happens, all the interaction that goes on. It's important to keep that in mind. It's the heat. That's what's getting me right now. It's hot. 94 degrees outside. I'm sure it's probably pretty close to that in here. So I turn the AC off so it doesn't make noise while I'm streaming. Where was I? I guess it doesn't really matter. Anywhere I begin, it's all pretty much left of center, I guess. Or right, or both at the same time. This intelligence, God, it's God. As far as our minds can comprehend what God could ever be, there, whatever this is at that awareness level. It just is. So why now? Why is there this connection that I'm making claim to taking place? Why now? Everything is so simple. We confuse everything. We even take joy in making something obvious in front of your face, but you don't see it. I mean, there's pieces of art out there that, you know, camera moves and you see a completely different scene. So we have this innate joy out of that motion, that mental action. Things are simple. You have to keep everything simple. Any deviation from that, it should be enough to know you have strayed from the path. Let's start. I'm going to reiterate from the last stream. All is forgiven. I say all. All is forgiven. What do you say? What did you just say as I asked you? Did you add a but in there? Be honest. Did you say all is forgiven, but? Did you? Did you answer? All is forgiven. No more, no less. It is what it is. So once you hear that word but, you should know, if you had been listening and are continuing to listen to you, that once but comes into play, you have stepped away from the path. The straight and narrow, righteous, because it's true. No more, no less. Let's jump back to that pie again real quick. So I keep thinking about those 5 slices. Count them. 5. 5 out of 6 in total. What are they doing with it? They're not doing anything for the one slice that collectively is saving their world with what they have of the pie. The other 5, not so much. Not the world pie in that one slice. Again, they have an idea of what their world will be. They do. They write about it, talk about it more and more. All the I mean, that fan, it needs a It needs to be soaked in bleach, because there's a lot of you-know-what on it. There's a lot of that happening right now. In your face. Talk about news. Reporting. Anything that has to do with reporting on the state of affairs. This moment in time. To think that I am in a moment in time where you cannot report on what is happening in that moment in time is bewildering, and a clear sign to me of what's to come. Because I know that that's not a good thing. That's not right. That's not fair. That makes no sense. And I'm not saying. See, this is just. I don't even want to get on it. It's just you waste your time, because a person shouldn't have to spend the time rationalizing every little finite detail to clarify, without leaving any doubts. It's absolutely crazy. See, it works, because my mind gets derailed from the train of thought that I've been doing a great job of keeping hold of these past few nights that I've shared, because this is very real. This is it's everything to me. I feel it's my life. Like I've been, every breath I took to get where I am right now. And there's been times when I didn't want to be here. Believe me. Still don't in many ways. And when I say that, I speak in reference to who in their right mind wants to be born into this chaos that we're in right now. None of it is good. It's all bad. Bad seems to be winning. Scale is tipping. I'm telling you, it doesn't take. You don't need, the only masters you need is life experience. Should be enough to tell you, to see what's happening. The lies, that's the biggest thing. to just see the lies, right out lies, being told as if they are fact. See, that's probably enough to trigger their system. It's getting to that point where you can't even say those kinds of things. It is. The hammers come down and the decisions have been made and are final, and no more will be heard on the matter. End of discussion. That's the part that just, oh my, that's what scares me. I guess if I was going to have a sense of being afraid, that scares me, because it's, I mean, that's like part of the greatest story ever told of God, intelligence of all flow towards this one, and we all have each of us have our own uniqueness. We all play a character. And this intelligence in the story that breathed life and made its way into the culture of this world is that this intelligence and another intelligence, a lesser intelligence than God, just to make it easy, questions God, sees things a different way, and there's a disagreement. God says, disagrees, end of discussion, and anything further, you don't want to go there. And just like today, this moment, this now, you have a world government. There is this world government that's in play right now. Whether it's, don't look at it as it's a work in progress. Put it that way. It's not fully realized, but it's there. This heat, I'm telling you. So, now you can see the 94. 53 minutes. I guess this is why you video edit and cut and then post, and you can get rid of some of this. But then it's not real time, on the fly. Right now. So I'm already feeling like I need to wind this one down, but I'm gonna keep. I like what I've been doing, and I'm gonna keep doing it. Because there's just so much to say on this whole matter. The money pie, ET, aliens, whatever floats your boat or sinks it. God. The music, this presence, this intelligence. It's here. Right now, you don't need to be waiting. Not anymore. Why do people wait? Why? I was talking earlier with somebody about the why do like Christians and Catholics, they're all waiting. And you have the Bible, and you get to Revelations, and it's all about the end of the world, and what all the signs that will be there, and then you close the book. It's over. You don't get any more after that, except wait. You just wait. I'm like, what's the point? What is any of this then worth? Why? I'm just gonna stand here and I'm doing what I was told, waiting for this return. I get it. I mean, I've been waiting too. It's I'm talking, what is it, September 5th, 2020? And I'm here talking about this. 10 years ago, I wasn't on this page. 20 years ago, no. I'm here now. This intelligence is here right now. It's always been here. I need to finish the story. Just came back to me that I had started about going outside to get my mindset to come up here and stream. And I knew I was going to stream about UFOs. But I wanted to get some sun, what sun was left in the day. Make sure I get my vitamin D3. Enjoy the view. And this guy came up to somebody. A neighbor was out there too when I was out there, and they knew the person that came walking up, and to ask them something, if they had something. And on his eyes, or right under his eyes, you couldn't help but not see, on the side it said E.T. was tattooed, and he was a young guy too, in his 20s. On this side it said UFO. That's a synchronicity thing that I spoke about earlier, like with the music and this intelligence. That's just non-stop. I can't even begin to explain. I had to ask him, what I mean, that's just not something that most people would do, put those two words on their face like that, and you can't help but not see them, because you go to look at them, and what is do you believe? What he believed. I wasn't sure where he was going when he first started to talk, because when he first began to do what I thought was explaining the tattoos, why they were there, he was talking about not being understood, and like, you're crazy, and then so you don't talk about it because you don't want people to look at you and think you're crazy. I mentioned that I had to ask, because I had come out there just moments earlier to get some air and a little bit of sunshine before the sun sets, and think and get ready to do a stream. And I had intentions on at some point talking about UFO, ET. This intelligence is here. It's not going away. The military, whatever, have no clue what this is. They have a lot of theories, they have a lot of ideas, but they don't have anything tangible in the sense that leads them to a sure understanding of what this is. Why? Because it's beyond anything that any mind here on Earth has ever imagined. It's hard to get there when this is all you have to base your foundation on. They're not standing here, and they never will. I like the boat. It's a glass bottom boat. And you can stand there and you can look down and you can observe all that life down there, but you can't live with it. You can't be a part of it. Not in that way. Only as an observer. It's no different with this intelligence. So all these expectations that people have, landings on a White House lawn, any lawn, it's never happening. There's no reason for that. It serves no purpose other than it would just make everything crazier. I mean, because then I guess you have this expectation that they're going to land and just start handing out crates and whatever, and just supplies and whatever it is we need to make ourselves a better world. They're just going to roll out a conveyor belt that just perpetually provides us with all that we need. No. Are they here looking for allies? No. They're not at war. Not where they are at. Where? They don't have war. And I know it's hard. You don't know what that means to not have war. Not really. Our whole life is built on war. Choosing sides. I'm better. You're better. It's all a competition. To be the best. There is no war where this intelligence resides. And I know people, oh, I want to go, take me then, take me there, let's go. Hell no. That's this intelligence. Doesn't work like that. Does not work that way. You can't just snap your fingers and everything is what you dream. You can't. Not, not, I should expand on that. Because you can. You can do that. And everybody can, eventually. You have to use some reason and logic, intelligence, in this whole unfolding story of realization, identity, who you are, what you are. I'm starting to do it. I'd like to jump ahead. It's like I'm thinking and I realize, well, I'm not talking out loud. And that's what's tripping me up. I've been trying to figure it out from the beginning of getting up here. And I've been thinking that that's what it is for the last month. I think that's what's helped me in the last few streams, to keep it pretty consistent and solid and not have so many mind farts. It is the heat too. It's very, very hot. Still in the 90s outside, and it's 9:30 at night. If it wasn't for the heat, I'd keep on going. I need to find a spot where I just bring this moment to a close till the next one. Government doesn't know. They want to know. They don't spend their time sitting at tables debating on whether it's real or not, which the public in general does. Is it real or not? Government doesn't do that. I mean, come on, you got the Navy, the Pentagon. You know, they're releasing some videos and footage and addendums, some notes, comments to the effect that, you know, here this is real, it does come from said departments, and we don't know what it is. It's here, though. I think they finally have given up. Government, they may have given up some time back on ever coming to what it is and realizing that they're going to have to wait on this intelligence, because in many ways it does come down to them, whatever it is. But I think that's kind of like a trick, because ultimately we're the ones that are waiting. You know, I hearken back to all the Christians, those of Christian faith and Catholic faith, who are waiting. People are waiting for this event, waiting for God, this return, when that is, God is omnipresent. Okay? Omni. Always. There's no but. Just like all is forgiven, no but. I'm going to keep listening to the music. I'm going to keep exploring my thoughts, the things that I'm realizing, that I'm thinking about, wondering about in relationship to this intelligence. What is the plan? And I want to be very clear. I don't ask this intelligence, what do I do? I've never spent that moment with that directed thought of having, I guess, knowledge of the future is one way of, I guess, looking at it. That's been a request of me, that I don't ask it to tell me what to do. What do I need to do? I've never. I look at this intelligence again, like you're walking down wherever and you cross paths. What do? Maybe you haven't seen anyone for quite a while, and now you've happened upon this person who's just out of nowhere, like you have now found yourselves face to face. What do you do? What do you say? And go from there. That's what I do. Continue to do. I'm developing a friendship, a relationship. And I listen. I listen to what this intelligence is sharing with me. I'm going to leave you with this. I wish I had the song, the video snaps easily available. I'll have to set that for the future. But back in January of this year, I spent a moment with this intelligence. And in my mind, this was just when the coronavirus was beginning. It still hadn't made it into the news, but it was showing up on the internet and web pages and YouTube vids. And so I spent a moment in my mind with this friend that I feel is a friend, sharing my thoughts on what I was beginning to learn. There's a virus, it's spreading fast, it's deadly, it's this, it's that. And with all that in my mind, I pressed the play on Pandora and listened back for feedback. Any thoughts? Care to share any thoughts? And the first song that played was titled Destiny. And then the next song, the title was My Life. I don't want to go over the whole. The music speaks for itself. And where we once stood, I was on that page earlier today, thinking about the past, thinking about going back. I like to go back. I say we can't, but that doesn't mean I don't want to. The good old days. Don't have to lock the door. I particularly am fond of my earlier youth. As a young boy, I lived outside of the city, out in the country. Farms all around, fields, crops, livestock, and I liked that. I love outdoors. Although I spent a lot of time indoors, I have great love for the outdoors. When I lived down in the country as a young boy, I stayed outside until the sun went down and you had to come inside. I didn't want to come in until then. I wanted to take in the day in its entirety. With that said, be well. Be well, everyone. And smile. It works. Smiling just does something to your whole presence, your aura. Smiling. Now more than ever. Now more than ever. It's crazy. I wanted to get into the craziness a little bit more, but I'm like dripping now. So I need to turn my AC back on, and I'll be back. I'll be back. Or at least for another hour. I like that. I seem to be doing around an hour in these videos, and I've been doing them daily except for yesterday. Yeah. See ya.